Hey guys, Adam here from BizNexus. I think most of you are familiar with BizNexus at this point. It's our matching platform for auction-based deal flow and broker rep deals. But I'm here today to run you through what we do for off-market deal origination through our agency, BN.Digital. Our agency focuses exclusively on proprietary deal origination for M&A professionals. That's our wheelhouse. That's all we do. Our clients seem to think we're doing it pretty well. And for those of you who've been on our weekly training webinars, the Lunch and Learns, if you've seen me present on these topics at our industry conferences, I think our process will most likely sound pretty familiar. I do want to show you exactly what we're doing here to manage deal origination for our clients and how you can benefit from that, as well as potentially get on board with us. Our program typically starts delivering a good flow of new prospects within the first few weeks of signing up with us. And over time, it'll snowball and get better as we stay in front of each prospect from first contact at the top of the funnel all the way through to engagement down at the bottom of the funnel. We're typically identifying about 1,500 to 3,000 prospects for each of our clients on a monthly basis. And we're enriching contact data for each of those prospects so you can contact them however you'd like in the future, with or without us. That's a big part of our program. We're big on data. We'll enrich the data, and we don't hold on to data. Your data is your data. You can walk with it at any time. So I'll walk you through what this whole process looks like today in this video, but two things to note before we get going. We do not require contracts in terms of time commitment. We stand behind our performance in this regard, so just get rid of us if we're not delivering on our promise. You can get in on an annual contract and get a 20% discount, but really month over month, we're going to stand behind our performance so you can walk at any time if we're not delivering. And the second thing is that we are and always have been an exclusive partner for our clients. So by that, I mean, since day one, we've limited our clients by geographic area and industry niche, and we do not overlap when it comes to our deal outreach partners. So you're getting into an exclusive relationship. If you get on board with us, your deals are your deals, nobody else. And if you're a client with us, your territory is going to be your territory as long as you're with us until you leave. All right. So with that being said, let's get into our process. We have 5 clear stages to our program. That's because I personally see deal origination as a long game, not a short game. We see a lot of people in this industry look at lead generation as a short game, as a one-time home run or nothing approach. I think that's a real mistake. I think in this industry, you have to assume that at least 95% of the people you approach at first pass will simply not be ready for what you're offering. They don't know who you are. They're not familiar with your solution or how it solves their problems. They've seen zero social proof. By that, I mean, they simply have no idea if you're actually good at what you do. They don't know you from some schmo off the street at this point. So the key here is not only to absolutely nail your initial targeting, right? Nail the targeting, get directly in front of that prospect and state your value proposition. You want to make the ask, but you also want to make sure that, more importantly, over time, you have a clear system in place for staying in front of those prospects who fit your targeting criteria. You want to stay in front of that 95% who aren't going to be ready at first pass. You need to keep touching those prospects across multiple channels over time. And our program accomplishes just that. So we start our program by bulletproofing your online brand, by bulletproofing your profiles, your website, your social profiles. We want to make sure that your online brand speaks directly to the pain points of your end target prospect. Less about you, more about them. We want to make sure that we're showing social proof, that you're presented as a qualified authority in your industry niche, in your geographic area. And from there, we work on your targeting. So we're going to decide who is your end target prospect? Are you going after an HVAC business owner, for example? And not only the primary prospects, but the referral prospects. So who are the financial advisors? Who are the accountants? Who are the lawyers who are going to be great referral sources to deliver that end target prospect, that HVAC business owner to you over time as those leads become ready to get passed? A good referral network winds up being more valuable than any proprietary deal origination strategy you have in place over time, right? It's very, very valuable to scale referral prospects in the right way over time. So we set you up for that, and then we build campaigns for every one of those target prospects: the business owner, the accountant, the lawyer, the financial advisor, the niche consultants, etc. We're going to run those campaigns and then put you into a nurturing program. If you're on our automation funnel, then we're going to nurture that 95% from mid funnel to bottom of the funnel to get to them to the point of capture, right? To the point where they're ready to actually have a conversation about an engagement, about what their exit options might be, about what a business valuation might look like. That's the entire point of this program, is to take a cold contact, warm them to the point of capture, of sitting down for that cup of coffee to have the conversation about an engagement. All right, so what exactly are the tools that we're using and how are we using them? If you're not familiar with the funnel concept, you can think of the funnel at the top of the funnel here. That's like meeting somebody in a conference. You're exchanging business cards. You know that you have enough overlap where it potentially warrants a conversation in the future, but you don't really know the person yet. You don't trust them. At the bottom of the funnel, that conversation has developed to the point where you're ready to sit down and talk about business. That's the concept of the marketing funnel. That's what we're going to be focused on for the rest of this presentation. So the tools that we love at the top of the funnel: email, phone, LinkedIn, snail mail still works well. Whatever it is that we're doing, we'd like it to be integrated. So again, data is a big part of what we do. If you're going to be calling somebody, you ideally should be able to follow up on email, connect with them on LinkedIn, get them in your network so they can see you're posting on an ongoing basis. If you're sending out a snail mail or a drop note, ideally you should be able to follow that up with something that's trackable, right? Something where you can send an email, lob in a call, and continue in a multi-channel campaign. Now, mid to bottom of the funnel, to stay in touch with your prospect, to stay in front of your prospect, you have LinkedIn posting on an ongoing basis, very effective if you can make sure that you're getting your messaging out in front of the right eyeballs, helping to establish you as a qualified authority in your area or industry niche. Articles, rolling people into a newsletter, retargeting, email marketing, using testimonials for social proof. It's all somewhat overwhelming when you get into the tools and how they're used. But basically, once you've nailed your top of the funnel outreach, right? If you're getting in front of the right business owners and the right referral prospects on a daily basis, right? You put that into a system. You're enriching the data so you have everything you need for a call or a sales meeting or to contact them on your own or however you want going forward. Now, at that point, the most important part of deal origination over time is to stay in front of them, stay in front of that 95% who aren't going to be ready at that first pass. So the large majority of prospects who you need to nurture, to stay in front of, to track the hell out of, so you know exactly when to reach out, when the timing is finally right for the prospect to have that conversation about entering into engagement, that's what's important. So we do this, we set this up and manage this for our clients with our funnel automation platform. If you're one of our top of the funnel outreach partners, so if we're running a program for you, you know that we're tracking everything. By that, I mean, who clicks what, how many times, who's visiting a landing page or your website's sell a business page. We track all this data so we can use it later for your funnel campaign. So, if we've sent somebody a link to your website or to a landing page we've created, then if that prospect is clicking through and visiting a certain page multiple times, we know this and we can automatically set up a sales task for you or enter the prospects into a specific campaign just for them, just for their specific persona type, right? So if they're visiting your sell a business page, we can enter them into a campaign that's focusing on the value prop for selling a business with you, for example. We do all of this, no extra work for you, none. So let me show you what this looks like. All right, so first things first, whenever any prospect enters our funnel, we tag them as a persona, right? So sticking with the HVAC example, if we are running a campaign and we're targeting an HVAC business owner, we're going to tag them as such, right? So here you see HVAC owner Harry. We do this not only so you have clear visibility into who each prospect is when you're in our funnel and you're managing your sales outreach, but we also do it so we can enter each prospect into a relevant, highly specific nurturing campaign suitable to their unique persona. So HVAC owner Harry is going to get entered into a campaign that's relevant to HVAC business owners, right? It speaks to the needs and the pain points of the HVAC business owner. We're going to do that for the referral prospects, for the financial advisors, for the accountants, for the lawyers. Everybody is tagged with their own unique persona and entered into a drip to a campaign that is going to be relevant for them to stay in front of them, to stay top of mind. It's going to add value over time with a clear call to action, ask to get in touch, so that when they're ready, you're going to be well positioned to have that conversation with a prime prospect who already knows you, your value prop, your brand, and how your services fit their pain points, solve their problems, right? Once we put a bullseye on each of those prospects in terms of persona tagging, there's really just so much that we can do from there. But one of the most simple tactics that I can explain in short order here is the visual workflow. All right, so once we put a bullseye on each prospect in terms of persona tagging, there's really just so much that we can do from this point. But one of the most effective tools that we use here is called the visual workflow. So this is a good visual representation of how we enter prospects into a drip that's going to keep you top of mind with each prospect and referral prospect over time. So you can convert that 95%, the really important 95%, right? So when a prospect comes into the campaign, for example, they're going to be tagged, right? So HVAC business owner, they're going to get tagged as such. They're tagged as HVAC business owner. And then maybe we wait a day and we send them an intro email with your contact info, right? So wherever they came in from, we know where they came in from, and we send the intro email to give them your contact info and state exactly what you do, right? And we make sure that they see that, so we can branch off and resend to unopens and make sure that that statement of value proposition gets in front of the eyeballs of your prospect, right? So we have that data, we can make sure that they see it. Maybe we want to hold off for a month after that, right? So maybe if this person is in your LinkedIn network, if you're posting on a regular basis and you're sharing content that helps establish you as a qualified authority in your specific area, right? Then they're getting exposed to your brand. They're learning about you and your social proof and how your solutions meet their needs. So maybe we wait a month and let you do that. Depending on what your strategy is, we're going to work with you to develop the best campaign. From there, maybe a month later, we approach them with an ask for a meet, right? So another statement of value proposition, and moving into an interesting year coming off of 2020. Have you made plans for your business and what your exit options might be? Are you aware of what the buyer landscape looks like? And do you want to have a chat about what I've been seeing in terms of buyer activity in this market and what we expect for 2021? That kind of message, obviously much shorter, cleaner, to the point, but you get it. From there, maybe we hold off and add a sales task in a week, 2 weeks later, and that can be assigned to your virtual assistant. It can be assigned to you. We have lead scoring in place with this platform. So if somebody is visiting your a key web asset, or if they're engaging with your social profile, we know that we can assign you a sales task. So very, very powerful in terms of the funnel and what we can do to stay in front of these prospects. And the best way to do that, to learn about the capabilities, is to schedule a one-on-one demo, and we can learn more about what your specific strategy is and how our solutions fit. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about here is retargeting ads. And we use this mid to bottom of the funnel. It's a great way to stay in front of prospects who've been identified as valuable, who fit the bill. It's a great way to stay in front of them over time. If you're not familiar with the concept, if you have been on Amazon looking at a pair of sneakers that you really like, and the next day you're on Bloomberg and you see that same pair of sneakers, and then maybe a week later you see the same pair of sneakers, but they're 50% off, and you happen to see that on a Financial Times website article, then you've been targeted, right? You're being retargeted. And in deal origination, in business acquisition and sale, this is highly valuable because we see a ton of intermediaries specifically coming through. They come to us and they've blown a lot of money on cold advertising. A much more effective process is to do warm advertising, right? So if you've already identified your prospects, the business owners, the referral prospects, the financial advisors, the lawyers, the accountants, et cetera, why not show ads just to those exact prospects? So that's what we do at the bottom of the funnel. So from day one, when you're on our automation funnel, we're tagging all of our prospects so that you can take advantage of this at any time if you decide to flip the switch. So for the HVAC business owner, for example, they're getting tagged and they're getting added to a list. And if you ever want to show an ad just to the HVAC business owners, then when they're out on their HVAC business website, or if they're on Facebook, or if they're surfing CNN, what have you, your ad for exit planning with HVAC businesses or business valuation for an HVAC business, that's going to show only to them. And it's actually very, very economical. So it's effective, obviously, because you're only showing ads to the people who you want to stay in front of, who you want to stay top of mind with. But it's also very, very, very economical. It can wind up being very cheap over time. So you can do this two ways with us. You can do it based on a list, or you can do it based on key web pages. So if you want to retarget people who are just visiting your sell a business page on your website, we can do that. Or if you want to do it by prospect list, we can do that. But extremely effective. I'll give you just a quick idea of what it looks like. We can set up web pages. We can do it based on assets. So if you have white paper, we can set up a trackable link so that anybody who visits that white paper is added to a retargeting list. We can get creepy with this in terms of specificity. So we can set all of this up and set you up for the long game of retargeting your prospects. And each campaign is trackable with impressions and clickbacks to your site and conversions. So you can pivot on the fly. If something isn't working, you can update, you can tweak. We'll run all of this for you. Highly effective. And in my opinion, should be part of anybody's long-term strategy for deal origination over time. All right. So one really great bonus for our agency clients going forward, you're going to get full access to the BizNexus tech platform. So what that means is you're getting access to everything that we build and release and update on a monthly basis. We're typically doing 2 major updates per month. And it allows you to do multiple things. First of all, you get access to all of the data, all of the matching. If you're doing buy-side work, you can set up a client. So if you're sticking with the HVAC example, if you have a client who wants to buy an HVAC company, you can set up a project for the HVAC company acquirer, and then you can have multiple searches for HVAC companies in Miami, in Florida, HVAC companies below 500,000 in cash flow, HVAC companies above 500,000 cash flow, everything. You get all of that. Not only that, but you get access to advertising. So you get a free boosted profile. You get a free boosted listing if you're an intermediary. Each month you get credits for that. So tremendous value, getting full access to the platform. Again, BizNexus is our platform for broker rep deal flow. We have publicly repped broker deals, and then also off-market pre-sim deals, but still broker repped. And you will have full access to that as we build out to the new year. As long as you're an agency client, you get full access to the platform. So a lot of value there. And that's on top of anything that you're doing with our agency for off-market deal origination. All right. So that is our updated presentation for off-market deal flow with BN.Digital and auction-based deal flow with BizNexus. I think we have 2 complementary solutions that work really well together if you're looking to acquire a business, or if you're an intermediary and you're out there just looking to get interesting engagements under contract. Really, we've got an end-to-end solution. So if you're looking for top of the funnel lead generation, we can help you with that. And if you're looking for mid to bottom of the funnel nurturing and funnel automation, we love that. So we're really excited about where our product is and where it's going. If you speak with any of our clients as part of the vetting process, I think one thing they'll probably highlight is not only our work ethic and our response time, but really how we try to focus on making this a continuous process of improvement. We really want to make this better day in, day out. We're always looking for feedback, and we're consistently fine-tuning it. So if you're hopping on board with one animal, it might be a different animal 3 months from now. We're really trying to stay ahead of the curve and really stay ahead of the competition. So we hope you give us a shot, and we'll look forward to working with you. Thanks.